chicken on a stick.
And what happens if a car comes?
You die.
What?
Just relax. Just trust. You need to learn how to trust.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Sure you do.
The tempo?
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I don't know.
Guess I'll see you in the movies.
I guess we'll see you in the movies.
See you in the movies.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to another chicken on a stick thing. This is... Fuck it. Who cares? It's always going to be in the way in some way because the way the cameras and everything are, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, welcome in. It's Friday the 13th, so I'm sporting a Friday the 13th shirt. We got Friday the 13th over there. Also, which is always there. Nothing new, but
I don't have anything Friday the 13th, so I'm just wearing a witch shirt.
she's being a witch like she always is.
Yeah.
But we're here today to talk about the newest adaptation of a Stephen King novel, FireStarter, which, to just be upfront, I've never seen the original movie.
I didn't even know that there was
read.
one.
I don't read, so...
I had no idea that there was an original, but now, like, hearing that Drew Barrymore was in it, I feel like, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Which is weird. I can't, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those, sometimes there's that thing where, like, people see actors and they can't see, like, the character the actor is playing, they just see the actor. Mm-hmm. Every time I see the poster for Drew Barrymore as a child in 1984 when she did that movie, I can only see Drew Barrymore. Like, child Drew Barrymore, I don't know.
I can only ever see her as the screaming in the closet over E.T.,
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I think this movie's going to be very interesting for people who are fans, because after the movie I kind of looked up, like, the general plot lines and stuff from the actual, like, the novel. Very, very interesting.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of Stephen King stuff doesn't, like, they don't always follow the source material exactly. Yeah. And I'm sure the original movie probably doesn't quite either. But this one seems like a much bigger departure.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Interesting.
We'll see. Have you done the framed yet today?
I did it at midnight.
Oh, what'd you get?
6.
It took you 6 attempts. Oh my.
I couldn't for the life of me think of the name of that fucking movie.
Most of the people I saw today were either getting it in 1 or not getting it at all.
1?
Oh, I got it in 1.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's so obvious.
Well, that's okay. It balances out because the day before I got it on 1.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think maybe we'll just kind of jump into the review right off the bat. There's not really much to talk about leading into this movie because, again, we don't know anything about the original one or the book or anything. So mostly we went in kind of to this movie pretty much blind, outside of the trailer, knowing Zac Efron was in it, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, to give a plot synopsis of this movie, Andy McGee must protect his young daughter Charlie after she develops pyrokinesis that forces them to go on the run. Both are hunted by a secret government agency known as The Shop, along with Native American bounty hunter John Rainbird, who will stop at nothing to capture Charlie and use her powers for sinister purposes. Which, unlike last week, actually sounds like what this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
What it was last week's, right? The Doctor Strange one that
Yeah.
like the synopsis made literally no sense and didn't sound like the movie at all. This movie, that was the plot. Pretty much straightforward, nails it on the head, basically. We got Zac Efron as Andy McGee, who's really the main character, Charlie's father, played by young actress Ryan Kira Armstrong. And then you got mostly a bunch of second. I would say the third, like, if you're going in order of the main characters, it's Charlie, played by Ryan, Andy, played by Zac Efron, and then John Rainbird, who's played by Michael Greyes. I'm sure I butchered that, but Greyes. Then you have a couple, like, random, like, super secondary characters, like Sydney Lemon plays Victoria, who's the mother. We have Kurtwood Smith, who plays Dr. Joseph Wanless, who's, like, not really in the movie at all. John Beasley plays a character, Gloria Rubin, who plays sort of the antagonist pretty much to the movie. Relatively small cast. The movie's also extremely, well, what feels like in this day and age, extremely short. It's only
an hour and 34 minutes.
Yeah, it's barely an hour and I don't even think 34. It says 110 minutes. So it's just, you know, if you add credits onto it, it's probably just stretching about an hour and 40 minutes.
It's been a long time since we've seen a movie that was less than 2 hours.
But it felt really short considering the last, like, 30 movies we've seen are all like 2 hours long. Like, all year long it's been, you start with the Batman, which is 3 hours long. Then you get the Northman, which is like 2.5 hours long. And then you get Doctor Strange, was over 2 hours long. And God, it really, like, everything.
I blame The Irishman.
There's been a move to make basically everything lately 2 to 2.5 hours long.
The Irishman was the one that coerced everyone into making super long movies.
So it's kind of refreshing to have a short movie. Like, you're in and you're out.
Yeah.
It kind of hits the beats really well. So I think I kind of feel like it's too short.
That's what I think.
I felt like the movie maybe could have used another 10-15 minutes of extra breathing room to, like, develop some elements of the story or some of the characters a little bit more. Like the antagonists and sort of what the backstory is. Just, it's like you get snippets and then that's about it. It's like, there's bad guys after us. Yeah. We gotta run. And it's not really, none of that's really explained. I really like the character John Rainbird in the movie, but he also is, like, not his development as a character is, like, stagnant the entire time, and then sort of peaks at the end, and then the movie's over. It's kind of like, what the fuck is this guy's, like, whole deal to begin with? I don't understand.
Hey, D-Pad.
Welcome in, Dubad. And also shout out Olag first in chat before anything really started. So
Yay, Olag.
so what did you think about the movie? What are your thoughts on this Firestarter?
I really enjoyed it. I knew that I'd never read the book. My dad is a really big Stephen King like book reader. Like he's got like every book.
That's an interesting fact.
Oh, interesting. I'm here. Yay!
Everyone's here for Maggie. We know. I know.
Hey, Steve Bad. Yeah, my dad my dad probably has the book, but I went into it not knowing anything. And like we said, I didn't even know that there was an original, but I do want to watch the original now. After having seen it, I thought that it was really well done. I really liked the story. It's kind of Twilight Zone-y and kind of, you know, twisty and fun. As far as like the things that I really enjoyed about it, I love the plot. I love Stephen King. I thought the scenes, obviously you can see from the movie promo, there's a lot of fire in the movie. But I thought the way that they did the pyro.
Yeah, spoilers. The movie called Firestarter.
There's fire in it.
It's about a girl who can start fires.
Yes.
Surprise.
But the way that they do like the stunts, like with the pyrotechnics, I thought was really well done, and it was very believable and really, really cool looking. So I love the way that it was shot. It was a little, and I told you this many times, that it was really weird to me to see Zac Efron in a father role. This is the first time seeing him like not be the young heartthrob, and you know.
Is this the first movie where he's played a father of some sort?
Yeah, he mentioned it on his Instagram. He was like, "I guess this is where I'm acting now."
He's reached that age.
He's like, "This is the shift now. Now I'm able to play father roles." So
Now I can be the hot dad.
now I'm the hot, and ladies, there's a shirtless scene. I'm just gonna say.
Is there a shirtless scene?
Yeah, I made this face.
I don't even remember. I did not even remember.
Yeah. So he's playing dad roles now. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep, that he is. But I thought the acting was really good. I mean, I love everything that Zac Efron does, but the little girl, she really stood out. Like her acting was really good. She was able to go from funny, giggly to crying or upset really easily. She kind of reminded me of the girl from remember the Wolverine movie, that little girl. She reminded
Logan.
Logan, yeah. She reminded me a little bit of her, like in her ability to kind of be really talented at that young age. So, yeah, I really liked it. I agreed that I think that it was too short. I wish that it was not to say that I wanted it to be 2.5 hours long, because that would be way too long, but at least just like a little bit, because there were a couple of things that I felt like we were introduced to something and it just kind of stopped, didn't go anywhere. So, and I like to have a little bow on scenes like that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I was doing that right in the mic. Sorry.
Nice.
I didn't realize I was doing that.
Um,
Sorry. Anyway.
That's why we put the mic right here.
Sorry.
She likes to speak softly anyway, so.
ASMR. Anyway, yeah, so I don't necessarily think that it needed to be. Oh, look.
Okay, no. Not that kind of channel.
Yeah, so it didn't need to be so long as to be like 2.5 hours, but just a little bit so that you could have gotten a little bit more of a bow wrapped around some of the little subplots. I think would have been nice. I do have a few cons of the movie.
Okay.
Con, again, wished it was longer. I'm just going to put this out there. It is a trigger warning.
Oh.
There is a dead cat in the movie. It was very upsetting. A cat dies.
Yeah, if you're a cat lover, there's a great scene that's like
It's not.
unintentionally
It's
hilarious.
not. I don't like it.
Somebody in our theater laughed.
I know that they did.
I
didn't.
I also kind of laughed.
I looked at you and I was like, I don't like that. So I deduct points for dead cat. And I deduct points for one or two eyeball scenes, which we all know. I have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to eyeballs.
Oh, yeah.
Eyeballs and clowns. So,
Yeah.
you,
You don't like eyeballs and clowns.
don't do it.
No clowns.
Thankfully, no
So,
clowns.
that should be a positive.
Just the eyeballs. It wasn't too bad, and it was like a split second kind of thing, but still, I stand by my principles. But yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed it, and like I said, I really want to watch the original now to compare and see. And part of me kind of wants to read the book because I wonder what aspects were left out of the movie that maybe might be in the book, because I feel like that's common and that happens.
So, what I would say about the movie is, first off, it was picked up and produced by Blumhouse, which has been really making a name for themselves over the last maybe 5 to 10 years.
I love everything Blumhouse does.
Horror-related movies, but not similar to like A24, which people will view as like elevated horror or really like bringing in like new, fresh sort of things. Mm-hmm. Blumhouse has been a lot of like the like common horror sort of tropey things.
They're very consistent.
Which doesn't mean that they necessarily make some bad movies. They've done some good ones and they've helped sort of revive franchises and stuff. Firestarter kind of feels more in the first bit where it feels like it plays it pretty safe most of the time, which is fine. Again, it's a relatively short movie. I think Maggie got some things right that I think Ryan Kiera Armstrong, the little girl who plays Charlie, at first I didn't really like her, but she was like really just being a kid in the beginning. But once like things start kind of going, and by the end of the movie, I think she was like really, really good in the role, in the part. I also think Zac Efron is pretty great throughout the movie. Like, he's not particularly doing anything like fantastical or amazing or anything, but the moments that Andy has throughout the story where he really has to like step up and do things and like what he can do, I don't know, just the way that he acted in those scenes and the way that he portrays like this ability that he has, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I thought
like
it was really
a
great.
really like subtle thing, but when like he turned it on, I really liked it.
Very subtle.
And Michael Greyes, who plays John Rainbird, I really liked.
He was
it's just a super shame that he gets like nothing. He gets very little in this movie to actually do. I was really interested in this character and was really hoping for a lot. And then it just kind of like, it starts off real strong, sort of fizzles out in the middle, and then again sort of peaks at the end. And then the movie's just over, and I was left kind of wanting a little bit more there.
He's definitely the part where they could have spent a little bit more time on. And I wonder if maybe they did pay a little bit more attention to his character, and maybe it just got left on the cutting room floor.
I think, again, from sort of what I looked up after seeing the movie, from what I understand, he, like, in the book and even the original movie, there's a lot more going on with, like, his character and what actually happens. This movie, if you are a fan of the novel or even the original movie, seems to be a vast departure from the old one.
You didn't get me this time.
She was looking right at chat.
You didn't get me this time. That last time. Well, the last time I was wearing my headphones.
Yeah. But she also was staring right at chat as that one popped up Oleg, so
nice try, Oleg.
This movie just feels like they kind of, from what I also read after, is that apparently they're looking into possibly making this some sort of franchise, whether that means there's a prequel or a sequel, or maybe John Rainbird or something gets a like his own movie or whatever. Who knows? Like, potentially doing something else. So the movie really does feel like it's leading into something bigger.
That was my main question, in that I don't
know that the originals are set up for that.
I
don't know that there's any sequels or anything.
That's
to the
what
novel.
that was what my question was going to be. Like, I didn't do any research to see. I was wondering if there was a sequel, or at least another book kind of sequel.
So it's a much different telling of the same story from what I can gather. So if you know the main beats, you're going to mostly know where the movie goes for the most part. But I think it does it differently enough to at least be, I guess, interesting. And again, it's not particularly long, so you can just kind of throw it on and watch it and be done and whatever. I do think that it might have needed a little bit more time for some breathing room because it kind of jumps from set piece to the end. And in between, there's just the only two real characters who get development are actually is really only Charlie, the main character. The dad, Andy, sort of
He gets
does,
a little
but
bit.
not really. Like, I don't know. He kind of stays more or less the same from start to finish and what his values and beliefs and everything are, and then the movie just kind of is over. So, I mean, I enjoyed it again because I didn't know what the hell this story was about or what was going on or anything, so I was pretty interested in all of it. I just don't think it quite, took... it's got all these elements, and they, underbaked it.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it was a brownie, it'd be all...
You'd stick the toothpick
liquidy.
in and then come out, and there'd still be brownie on the toothpick.
Yeah, so I don't think it quite gets there for everything that it brings. Although what is there, I do think is
Good.
Interesting enough, good enough for a relatively short movie that you can just kind of throw on and watch. But I don't know. I feel like they could have done more or explored a little bit more with some of the elements and characters that they bring up and stuff. Because the antagonists in the movie, I still don't know what the
Yeah.
Who are they? What are they doing? What's the point? You get something sort of in the start, and then little sprinkles between, but it's just kind of like...
Jesus
That
Christ.
one played that time before it came up in chat, so that was loud. So I don't know. The movie's just kind of weird. It's half-baked in a lot of spots, but it does have some bright moments that are really good. Strangely enough, apparently this also, if you have Peacock, is available on Peacock.
Oh, yeah, I
so,
did see that.
It's there, so if you have it, you want to kill an hour and a half, there you go, watch that movie. It's not being reviewed particularly well by critics. I think, on average, we probably both liked it more. Yeah, half-baked, yeah.
Your favorite viewer to hate.
I don't hate anyone. Well, I hate
That
a lot
is
of
not
people.
true. That is the
I don't-
most untrue
I don't
statement
hate
I have
you,
ever heard.
Bulldog. I don't hate you.
That is the most untrue thing you've ever said.
I don't know. What do you think about the movie overall? What do you...
I really, really enjoyed it. I think, given...
Oh, I did want to say this. One thing I really did like, the soundtrack, the score.
Oh,
to
yeah, the
movie,
music was really
because it was composed by John Carpenter, along with Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies, who all previously worked on the Halloween movies from Blumhouse. But obviously,
yeah.
John Carpenter, the original Halloween, and all
his
that.
wife, too, right? Wasn't it produced by the... Oh, I thought...
Hey, Ash, thank you for the resub.
Hi, Ash.
Subscribing with Prime, because it's free. Thank you, Ash. So I really like that. The soundtrack, the score at moments, I thought was really good. There's this one scene in particular, I want to say she's in the woods or something, and it starts to kind of ramp up. It had this hint of Halloween to me that I picked up on, and I really, really liked the score, and it was John Carpenter, so when I saw that, I was like, hey, John Carpenter, what do you know?
It did a really good job of being a good mix of different feels for a movie. Like what you just said, you kind of get just a little whisper of creepy, spooky, spookiness, without it being a horror movie.
It's apparently considered a horror movie, and again, it's a Blumhouse movie. They basically only do horror movies, so...
But it wasn't
It's a science fiction horror film.
more science fiction, kind of thriller to me.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely a subgenre.
But they did like
horror.
nice little sprinkles of everything. There's a little bit of comedy. There's a little bit of,
I feel
heart.
like it's unintentional comedy because the one guy who in the theater I feel like laughed maybe twice were at moments that aren't supposed to be funny, but
Little
they're
dark
just
humor.
like they're kind of like dumb funny.
Well, Stephen King does have a very dark sense of humor, so he probably would laugh at that too.
Maybe that one scene in particular that you didn't like, I did think was like it was so dumb, but it was so dumb it was funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, warning if you don't like things happening to animals.
It's not. They didn't kill an actual cat.
No, they did not kill an actual
Hi, buddy.
animal.
Don't worry, they didn't kill no
This
real
isn't
animal.
the Cannibal Holocaust or the original Friday the 13th.
What did they kill in the original Friday the 13th?
A snake.
Oh, you told me that.
Yeah. Which they weren't supposed to do. They just did.
They just did.
Whoops. I would say, it's a Stephen King adaptation. I don't think that I haven't seen every Stephen King adaptation. I mean, the most recent one I can think of was, I think, Dr. Sleep.
Is it true that he wrote Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Who?
Stephen King?
Like the original?
Yeah.
I doubt
Someone
it.
told me that, and I didn't know if they were...
I
didn't know if they were messing with me or not.
If he did, that would be crazy, but I highly doubt that
Okay,
he wrote
so I was like,
Clifford.
I thought it didn't sound right,
I highly
but I
doubt
wasn't
he wrote
sure.
Clifford.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I'm like, maybe he...
That'd be quite the
Maybe
departure.
he had an off summer.
He got so tired of writing horror that he wrote Clifford the Big Red Dog once.
I don't know. All right, so someone was fucking with me. All right.
I mean, maybe he could have wrote the movie. I don't know. I don't know.
I liked
That's weird.
I did like that movie with Ewan McGregor. What was it called? No Sleep?
Dr. Sleep?
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that one too. This one, I don't know. It's pretty. Again, it's inoffensive. It's short.
Norm Birdwell. Okay.
It's again, we can't really compare it to the original movie. So if you like the original movie, you'd have to watch it yourself and kind of compare it. It's hard for either of us to actually say.
Yeah.
Again, I think the funny part, I don't know if you've ever seen the poster for the one with Drew Barrymore.
Mm-mm.
But in this one, in the poster that we had on the start screen, and the poster here, like, Ryan Armstrong, she's looking like she's angry and kind of evil with the fire and stuff going on. The Drew Barrymore one, she just looks like has like this lifeless sort of expression on her face of just like, and then there's like fire going on and her hair's kind of crazy.
That's kind of funny.
It looks so dumb. It makes the movie look so like stupid and cheesy, and it might be. I also know that John Rainbird is played by like some white guy with an eye patch or something in that movie instead of.
I wonder if that's on Shudder.
No idea. I have no idea. So I don't think any other movie really came out this weekend other than this. So if you're going to the movies this weekend, you're either seeing Doctor Strange or possibly Firestarter, really, or anything else that's out that you've maybe missed. I think obviously Doctor Strange is probably the big ticket, which is probably most people probably wanted to avoid that release anyway.
Yeah.
Because next week is like all of the big ones. It's also Memorial Day weekend in the United States, and that's all the like really big releases next week. Give us your final thoughts and a score on the movie.
Memorial Day weekend is you get two different types of people. You get, we're going to the lake, woo! And then you get, we're going to go to the theater, woo!
But what if there's no lake near you?
Buy one of those $5 kiddie pools from Walmart and put it in your backyard. Bring a little ice chest out there. Yeah, my final thoughts is it's an easy watch, especially not knowing anything going into it. It's a quick watch, so you don't have to dedicate any time to your evening or research or anything like that. So yeah, I recommend it. I really liked it, and I do hope that there ends up being some sort of sequel, because I'd like to learn more and know more and watch maybe as that little girl kind of like grows a little bit more. I think that'd be really great. So I recommend it. Would you like my rating?
Yeah.
I give it. I know who Cujo is.
Cujo, yeah, maybe.
Could you imagine if Cujo was the size of Clifford? They would have been wrecked. I'm gonna.
Cujo is such a dumm story.
Yeah, I don't understand why
it's
people were so terrified.
It's a lady and her kid being afraid of a dog for like an entire hour.
Wasn't he like a Saint Bernard or something?
Yeah, he's like a big.
I thought he was cute.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they just like they put like little fake blood on his fur. And he was like in my head.
Such a dumb movie.
When I watched that movie, in my head, all I could imagine was that whenever they went cut, he would just like glumpy walk around like all cute and fun and just like he's the star. Anyway, I think I would give it. I'd give it maybe an 8.5 or a 9 lighters.
That high?
I really liked it. I just wish it was I wish it was longer. I really enjoyed it.
Wow. So Beethoven, yeah. It probably was.
I really liked it. I don't have any problems with it except that it was too long. And I can get
It
over
was too long?
I mean, too short. And I can get over the cat in the eyeball thing.
You gave other movies points off for that kind of thing, and you're like, whatever.
There's a shirtless Zac Efron in it.
I mean, I
don't agree with people saying that it's like terrible and it's awful.
Yeah, I don't think it's got like really, really bad ratings. Currently, if you go off Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like a 14%, which I think is much too low.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of the people are just being like, the movie doesn't really, kind of like what I said, that it's got a lot of the elements it doesn't really do a lot with or whatever. But I think with the length of the movie and the parts that do really work, that are there and interesting, do work a lot, I'm not going to give it that even close to that high of a rating.
I liked it.
I think I'd maybe say like a 5 out of 10. Like it's fine. It's inoffensive, but I just feel like a lot of the stuff is just not. Don't forget the Stephen King. No, I already said this earlier, Nacho. I don't know if you're here. This we haven't read the books. We haven't seen the original movie, but from what I've like looked up and read about the novel and the original movie, this is goes a whole different direction. Has the same sort of general story beats, or a couple of them, but drops a lot of stuff and seems to have a totally different like changed ending or unique ending or something. It doesn't quite follow those. So if there are purists, I don't think they're going to enjoy it. I don't know that they're going to like this movie at all. But I also feel like some of the more successful Stephen King adaptations aren't faithful.
Yeah.
Like some of them are, like Shawshank Redemption, I know is supposed to be pretty.
I mean, wasn't it kind of a little bit different too?
Yeah. Well, yes. First off, there's never going to be a 100% faithful adaptation of it, because nobody's going to want to film like a child orgy at the end of the movie. Nobody's going to want to do that. So that one's sort of also the like space turtle thing and all that sort of stuff is kind of weird that I don't think you'll ever see unless I think you said they're doing like a TV show,
yeah, they're
or
going to do a
Pennywise
TV
show, which might go into it. I think that'd really be the only way you could get away with that sort of like craziness. But like The Shining is super, super successful. Doesn't exactly follow the source material. It kind of did its own thing. Stephen King didn't like it, blah, 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 whatever. But he's also not going to cry about it because it's made him a shit ton of money. So there's a lot of like Shawshank Redemption, from like I said, what I understand, is supposed to be very faithful. I think The Green Mile is supposed to be pretty faithful.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's other like I think the second It movie, Chapter 2, not super faithful, but maybe the first one was kind of more faithful. Yeah. That's kind of where it's like all over the place for his adaptation. So it's like hit or miss. He always seems to like, I know he's got his thoughts on it. Like he doesn't like the ones that aren't faithful and then likes the ones that are, but But then he does the thing that a lot of people do where they're always, when they're doing press, they're like, oh yeah, this movie's really good. And then like a year later, he's like, no, that movie fucking sucked. And it's like, well, that's, you got to tell people you liked it. That's how you make the money. But
because I was going to say, I follow him on Twitter, and I did see that he posted a picture of him posing with his dog, and he was wearing a FireStarter t-shirt. He was like, so excited to go see the movie. This is going to be amazing. Everyone enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to know. Who knows? It's whatever. Stephen King's best thing is still always going to be his segment of the original Creep Show, where he was the hillbilly farmer guy who had the asteroid and turned into a moss monster thing.
Forgot about that.
Dude, Creep Show is so good.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, again, I think the movie's relatively meh, whatever. It's short, so it's just kind of one of those things you can kind of turn on, watch really quickly, be done with it. It has highlights that I really like. I think Zac Efron was good in it. I think Ryan, Kira Armstrong is great as the main character. And again, I think the John Rainbird character is an interesting character that they don't do enough with. And then it's just kind of, I don't know, it feels like everything else is sort of an afterthought. So, if you're going to go see a movie this weekend and it's like you haven't seen Doctor Strange, but you were also kind of wanting to see this and you're not sure, go see Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like 10 out of 10 times over this movie. But if you have Peacock, or you have like an AMC thing like we do, maybe this would be a movie you'll want to go see. Again, it's short, you're in and out, no big deal. So
That's very true.
Also, Nacho got framed on one.
You did? How?
Nacho still, he said he's still waiting until the day that it's a movie he hasn't seen or that he doesn't know about, and he'll end up losing. So there you go.
How the fuck do you get that on the first one?
What did I say? 5? 5 out of 10? You gave it a... What do you give it?
I give it an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
So maybe like a 6.5 rating or so. 6.5, 7.
He got it on the first one and he never even saw the movie.
Oh, he never saw that one. Well, there you go. I wanted to make a joke in the Discord chat where everybody shares what they did on it, but I didn't want to spoil it for anybody. It's so late in the day and whatever. If you're here watching it, spoilers for Framed on May 13th, today. I wanted to, like, as a hint, be like, share something from the Oscars that year, because that's when they flubbed up and gave La La Land Best Picture, but it was really Moonlight.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a good hint.
Yeah, at first I wasn't sure, and then I kind of looked at it a little bit more, and I was like, that car kind of looks familiar, and then the kid sort of doing this thing out the window, and I was like, is this Moonlight?
Did not get that. I
didn't ruin anything for you. You can chalk that up to D-Pad and her. D-Pad said earlier, too, he's like, can we start talking about Doctor Strange spoilers? It's like, you can do whatever you want. Like, if you want to start talking about Doctor Strange, first off, it's your Discord. Do whatever the hell you want. So I don't, hey, I don't care.
I just got caught up.
Yes.
I got caught up.
I know.
And I got excited.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not our fault.
Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame.
No spoilers today?
No spoilers. Yeah, I think she's kind of understood that it's, if it's in the trailers, it's free game. If you don't watch trailers, you haven't watched trailers, then, I mean, any sort of general review of a movie would kind of give you spoilers to begin with. Mm-hmm. But I just try and work off of only what's in a trailer, and obviously like a plot synopsis, which I just kind of read off at the beginning. So besides that, we haven't really watched many movies the last week since Doctor Strange.
No, but there is a new Shudder movie out, an original. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, the one you asked if I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Which is from 2018.
Oh, no. There's like a new one that came out yesterday.
I'm very much looking forward to the what was it called? Something God that I showed you the trailer for. That's by Phil Tippett, who did the Jurassic Park stuff.
Oh, yeah. That looks really... The stop motion.
Yeah, too bad it's not until like June or something. That movie looks
June is
great.
going to be a great month for movies.
So, next week, real quick for movies, next week's a big week for releases. I'm going to look up to just make sure, but off the top of my head, I know for sure next week, two big things that come out
We also look up the Shudder.
is Top Gun Maverick, which we said this before when we talked about the Kingsman, whatever the fuck that terrible movie was called, that we had watched that trailer for like 2 years,
2 years
straight, and then eventually we saw the movie and it was just like, ugh. Top Gun is, for me, it's not quite there.
It's there for
her,
me.
For her, she's just like, she's so sick of seeing
I am
these trailers.
so tired of that trailer. I'm tired of that song. I'm tired of the volleyball shirtless scene. I'm tired of Tom Cruise being shoved in my throat. I just want to watch it and get it over with. And I never want to see it again.
So there's a couple things next week. So again, Top Gun Mavericks is arguably like the big one. It's like the number one thing. Here's the problem. I'm very torn between what movie we would be doing a review of next week. Because it would either have to be Top Gun. Technically, it could be three things. It could either be Top Gun Maverick, which, whatever, we're going to rewatch the first Top Gun. And then we'll see that. Second is the Bob's Burgers movie. Which
that's right.
we're very big fans of Bob's Burgers. Actually, the stand that we use for the cameras is the Bob's Burgers cookbook.
Hamburger. That was a gift that I got you.
So we really like Bob's Burgers, so I'm pretty excited about the Bob's Burgers movie. And
Sexy
then,
burgers. Get your sexy burgers.
and then there's the new A24 horror movie by Alex Garland, who did
So
Ex Machina, which I fucking love.
Love that movie.
And then Annihilation, which, meh.
Didn't care for that.
Didn't
one.
really care for, but called Min, which looks like super fucking creepy and awesome.
Twisty.
And great. So there's like three really big movies. Is Crimes of the Future next week? I don't know, unless that's the movie.
Oh, is that the
talking
Shudder
about.
movie?
Maybe. I have no idea. So those are like the three movies next week, which is gonna be.
I think I'm most excited for Men.
Yes, you would be most excited for Men.
What was that supposed to mean? Because it's poopy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no, that's. I think that's go up. I think it's that first.
The
No,
Sadness?
no. Yeah, wait. A Shudder original. Yeah, it's in Mandarin.
No, it looks like some zombie Mandarin movie. I don't know, some Chinese zombie movie called The Sadness. Crimes of the Future. Yeah, but that's still a little bit away. So one of those three movies is going to be what we review next week, which I could. Top Gun's like third out of that tier for me. I could very easily go with either Bob's Burgers or Men.
I like the way you said men.
Men. Oh,
Men.
so creepy.
There's a TikTok where a lady did a TikTok where she starts the TikTok off where it's just the beginning of the trailer of Men, and there's a quick scene, and then before it can even continue, it just says the name of the movie, Men, and it stops, and she goes, oh God. Oh.
I will say, that movie, the first time we saw the trailer, I was like, okay, yeah, it looks kind of creepy, whatever.
Yeah.
It's got Jessie Buckley as the main actress in that movie. But
Have you a look?
the actor who's in it, who I can't think of his name off the top of my head, it wasn't until like the second time that I realized he's playing all of the male characters in the movie.
I didn't pick
so
up on
it's the
that.
same guy's face, which is similar to. I'm gonna be curious when we see that movie if it's gonna be. There was a movie from a few years ago that I absolutely love by. It's a Charlie Kaufman movie. If you know who Charlie Kaufman is, then you'll kind of understand why I pointed out his name. But it's called Anomalisa, and it's a stop motion animated movie where a guy has this. It's like it's a psychological thing where. Where in your head, when you see other people, they all look the same or sound the same. And Anomalisa is about this guy who does, if I remember correctly, he's like a self-help person who's like put out a book. Or no, it's management stuff. That's what it is. He's going to a conference at a hotel to give this speech about like this book and about management and whatever. But he's so like depressed and in his own little world and like unhappy and whatever that every other character and puppet in the movie has the same exact face. The women, the men, everyone is the same face and voiced by the same actor until he sees this woman named Lisa, and that's why it's called Anomalisa, because she's the anomaly that he sees her and thinks like that she's special in some sort of way and that they can connect and whatever. And the movie's a fucking trip. I absolutely love it. So seeing that this movie is going for seemingly the same sort of thing where she's seeing all these, assumingly just men, I guess. I don't think we've seen any other females in the movie, but they're all the same actor. Has me very interested in it.
Very, very trippy. Very twisty. And I'm not normally I don't know. Like, I've never been a big, like, stop motion or claymation kind of gal. I did like the Fantastic Mr. Fox, which you still haven't seen, right?
I have not seen it.
And I think that kind of opened up my mind a little bit more. So I did actually enjoy Anomalisa. And this one looked really good. I like the idea of a stop motion scary movie. It looks scary.
This is the movie I was talking about. Anomalisa. I agree 100% with the caption that a masterpiece. This movie, it's actually a clip from our opening is from this movie. So
when he takes off, right?
When his face falls off and he puts it back on.
Yeah.
Fucking love that movie. Highly suggest watching it if you've never heard of it or seen it before. Very, very, very. Also, like Team America had like puppet sex.
I forgot about
this. Has like puppet cunnilingus going on. Like there's almost the most like realistic human like sex scene, intimacy scene, but with puppets. Like it's done. It's so good.
All I can think about is the people like people like whatever it is that they're doing and setting it up and how they do it.
Team America was all for the jokes and laughs and whatever, and that's funny. But this like it's played. This is like if it was just a drama where you just had regular actors and everything. It's played super straight and serious. So that's fun.
Yes. And like I said earlier, I think June is going to be a really, really great month for movies. And I would just like to say that Patrick has said the second best thing he's ever said to me. The first one was, "We're going to Target one night after a movie."
Okay. Number one, we're going to Target. Key to
my heart.
Any woman's heart, apparently.
What did you say last night?
The newest Jurassic World movie's coming out, so I said we're gonna have to rewatch all of them.
Ah, nuts!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
I knew she'd get
Hell
excited about
yeah! June is my month.
June
is
her month.
I'm gonna count down the days. I've got a whiteboard in the bedroom. I'm gonna do a countdown to Jurassic World.
You know it's gonna be real fun when we review Jurassic World Dominion or whatever it's called. And you love it, and I don't.
It's a good thing I'm always right and you're always wrong.
Yeah, well, Fallen Kingdom is a terrible movie.
You're a terrible movie.
Yeah. My life would be a terrible movie. You're correct. Outside of that, another thing, I kind of mentioned this a little bit in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can always kind of see these sort of things. We watched this great documentary this weekend, this past week, called Meltdown. Was it just Meltdown at 3 Mile Island?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was about in 1979, a nuclear power plant in Pennsylvania, 3 Mile Island, Pennsylvania, had an accident where there was a near full meltdown, almost like Chernobyl sort of things, years before Chernobyl ever happened. And as we were watching this this documentary, this 4-part series on Netflix, they mentioned that 12 days before this meltdown started, before this accident happened, a movie came out starring Jack Lemmon, who I love,
Michael Douglas?
Jodie Foster, and Michael Douglas, called The China Syndrome. And we had never heard of this movie ever. And when they first mentioned it, I didn't really think anything about it. I was like, whatever, a movie from the 70s, big whoop. But when I noticed the actors who were in it, all of a sudden we were interested because weirdly, almost like art imitating life sort of thing, that 12 days before this accident happened, this movie came out, and it's called China Syndrome. Apparently China Syndrome was the thing in dealing with nuclear energy, where they thought if something melted down in a certain way, because of how hot and everything it would basically dig into the ground. It could go all the way to China, like the other side of the earth. Basically, that's why it's called China Syndrome, which is like super stupid. But it sort of mirrored life and the things that these people actually found and did in real life during this accident.
It's very eerie, very creepy.
So we had mentioned before, many, many weeks ago, about potentially starting some sort of like movie watching club thing. So we were thinking of actually starting that, and for the first one, why are you always so like cautious about opening those?
Because it's annoying.
Starting this movie club with the first movie possibly being The China Syndrome, since that's so fresh on our mind, watching that in conjunction with the thing, that'd be something that we would do sometime this weekend in Discord, so we'd share, anybody could join in and watch. And then we'll start to do what I told her as an idea, not necessarily a live stream like this, but record something after we watch one of these, where we would discuss the movie we watched, full spoilers and everything, because they'd typically be older movies. I mean, if you're worried about being spoiled by a movie from 1979...
That's on you.
That's on you. But anybody who joined us and watched with us could also join into the discussion and actually talk about the movie. And then that would be uploaded to like YouTube and all that stuff for viewing on Mondays. So it could be like a Monday movie club sort of thing. You watch it on weekend. I edit and do all the stuff on like a Sunday or something, upload it and whatever. So the first movie possibly this weekend would be China Syndrome. It's got Jack Lemmon in it. That's all you need to know.
Jack Lemmon is greatest.
Is fantastic. It's a movie from the 70s. We don't know anything about it other than what was mentioned in this documentary that we watched.
And they brought it up a lot.
And it literally seems to mirror what they ended up going through in real life. So it's kind of hilarious that it came out 12 days before this accident at that power plant.
They had to do a lot of like, not press junkets, but they had to like basically calm people down to be like, this wasn't a premonition. We literally just came up with this movie.
Yeah, I think we'll talk more into it. This is something where like I'll actually the point of the club will be like sort of like a book club, is potentially rotating people who suggest movies. So if you join us, you could potentially suggest a movie for 1 week and all that stuff. Doing like research, like have who the actors are, writers, directors. In this case, since we know it mirrored an event in real life, we can actually talk about that event that actually happened, that sort of thing, but more of like a round table sort of discussion with multiple people if people are there and willing to actually talk and express what they thought and whatnot with the movies. So I think that could be a fun little thing, kind of get-together thing to do.
My recommendations will be spooky.
All of her stuff's going to be horror-related. There's no... I did read online people suggested to like make themes, like if you do it, if it was like once a week thing or maybe bi-weekly thing, maybe every month have like a different theme that you're going for, which I think is kind of silly. I think the only thing to really shoot for is like older movies. They don't have to be like super old movies, but old movies that maybe not everybody has seen.
Agreed, Nacho.
Or maybe if you had seen the movie but it's older, but the majority of people haven't seen it, you could do that, and like you're showing people the movie and whatever. It doesn't really matter. I suggested one movie to her the first time, and she literally rolled her eyes. It's like, neither of us has seen it. It's old, whatever. And she's like, but she's like, fine. That's how she reacts anytime I suggest something. She's like, unless if I came to her and was like, oh, let's watch like Nosferatu or like
Hell
the original
yeah.
Frankenstein, she'd be like, yes.
Hell yeah! Let's do it.
let's watch any of the let's watch the original The Invisible Man. And she'd be like, yes. And I was like, okay, let's watch let's watch what was the movie called? East of Eden, the last movie that James Dean did. She'd probably go, ugh. Yeah. The only thing she's ever going to be interested in is going to be horror.
I like what I like.
Gotta open your mind, expand your mind. I don't know. Doesn't matter. East of Eden is, yeah.
If you say so, I'll watch it.
But that's sort of the point. Is it's more like what I would want to go for is like a more of a avoid anything that's relatively new or like the new popular stuff, and do things that might be viewed as classics or in this case like the China Syndrome. We've never heard of it. I know, Nacho, I think you said you've never heard of it. I feel like a lot of people, that'd be a movie that nobody's ever heard of.
Very indie, very...
I don't know, not necessarily that it's indie. It's just, it's from 1979. Like, none of us were alive then.
You weren't?
No,
believe
it or not, I was not born for another 11 years.
I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Nothing within the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Nacho's the one I told you who, his is The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which I was listening to the Hairspray one the other day, and then I was listening to the Fast and the Furious one recently too.
Please, nobody vote for the Fast and the Furious.
we would not do Fast and Furious.
Thank you.
Although I feel like it's fun listening to it. First off, I do just want to say, if you've never listened to or checked out The Good and the Bad and the Weird, you should. It's great. Nacho and his co-host Chris, fantastic jobs. They do really break down a lot about the movies. The funny thing about the Hairspray one is, first off, to get it out of the way, 2007 or something, I think that movie came out. I remember actually kind of liking the movie whenever I first saw it, but I've only ever seen it once, so I might have just thought it was something new and sort of different from what the average sort of thing I would watch. So maybe that was part of it or whatever. But I feel like, first off, John Travolta was in a fat suit as a woman in that movie,
yes,
which they bring up that the original was Divine, the very famous drag queen actor person, played the mother. So John Travolta was it was weird having him in that movie. Was it Zac Efron or something
I think he was in that.
Was the lead. One of the teen heartthrobs or something was the lead in that movie. But then I feel they mentioned John Waters a lot, and John Waters always cracks me up. But I think he also plays the father or something in that movie. I feel like he is in the movie. But John Waters just cracks me up.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Efron was the love interest. There you go. It ties right back into Firestarter.
It all comes full circle.
He was a teenage love interest in that, and now he's a dad.
More like daddy. I'm just kidding. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back.
Also, I did suggest, because they were talking about musicals, and a lot of times people will say that I don't really like musicals, blah, blah, blah. And I shared that my thought process, I've said this plenty of times before, is that I feel like there's Oh, maybe he's only in the intro. I just remember him being there. Like, John Waters is always just in things,
Yeah.
it feels like, at a certain... I've always just seen him in things randomly. But I mentioned how I view, like, musical... That there's, like, 3 categories of musicals. There's, like, the big, like, stage musicals, which is, like, you have a big ensemble cast. They feel like they're... a play, or it could be on Broadway, or
like Rent,
typically they are like Rent, West Side Story, Sound of Music, that sort of thing, where it's like they've got these huge set pieces, everybody's like breaking out into dance. Singing in the Rain would be a good example, whatever. Then you have like just the standard child Disney type thing, where like every child's animated movie basically is a musical. Moana, Frozen, Aladdin, whatever. You don't generally think of them as musicals. Like, that's just a kid's movie. They just have music. It is a musical. Like, think about it. Aladdin, when the genie comes out, You've Never Had a Friend Like Me, is a whole dance number and all this. Like, it's everything. And then you do have the more modern-y musicals where it's still a musical, but they don't like stop to have everybody start dancing in the street or anything. The song, characters are still singing it.
There's a dialogue and a plot. La La Land has a lot of musical numbers, but there's also a lot of just straight up dialogue.
La La Land's a weird one. I don't know where I would put it. It feels like it should be more of a stagey thing because, first off, it starts off with a big dance number.
It does.
But then a lot of the other, like, actual song moments are mostly instrumental things, which have big... they do have dance numbers and stuff. I don't know. La La Land's a weird one for me. It feels like it's a weird mix. But like Sing Street, I suggested Sing Street because I absolutely love Sing Street. Sing Street is a modern one because they're making a band. So any of the music is them as a band doing music. There's one scene which feels like old school musical, but it's supposed to.
What was the Bruce Springsteen one?
That's Blinded by the Light. I don't know where that one falls. I don't know if you would... If you do, I'd say that's more, I guess, of a modern one. But it's more that he's listening to the music and experiencing the music. He's not necessarily singing or anything, so I don't know how you'd classify that. I did say Yellow, the one where the guy, like, wakes up in a world where the Beatles never existed, but he remembered all the Beatles songs. Yeah. So he was able to play them and stuff. And that's sort of the same thing. It's like
movie.
He's playing the music for people, but nobody's like stopping to do dance numbers or big things like that. That's how I've always viewed it, and I always feel like people who are like, oh, I don't like musicals, are thinking of like Singing in the Rain or like West Side Story. Like people, they're always like, oh, I just don't like when people break out and dance, and like
break
singing
into
and whatever. And it's like, yeah, I get that, and that's like a stage musical.
Yeah,
but if you watch something like, you know, some of them often, you got kids and whatever, but I was like, if you watch like something like Sing Street or Yellow, where it's like incorporated more into the story, and nobody's just stopping to break reality and do like a big dance number, you might think a little different. Or if you find something that's more, I don't know, the type of music you might enjoy. I like saying Sing Street because Sing Street is more like 80s rock music sort of thing, like Duran Duran, stuff like that kind of music. So if you like 80s rock more, that'll be more of your interest because it's different types of like 80s rock than whatever. I know I do, but it's because we have one microphone. I could just put it right here. But she talks really softly, so it's a weird balance that's got to be done. Anyway, that's my thoughts on music. I could talk about musicals.
I'll talk louder.
All day. I like all sorts of musicals, though. Like, I really like
musicals.
Singing in the Rain. Oh, we got a trivia redeem. Who do you want to do the trivia? Here you go. You got plenty of cards. Probably ask. So I like Singing in the Rain. I liked
Moulin Rouge was a really good musical.
Comedy. Pick a card and ask me a comedy question. If it's one you feel like we've done before, find another one.
Yeah, I really like Moulin Rouge.
But I don't mind musicals at all. I feel like there probably would have been a time when I was younger that I would have been like, meh, musicals. Yeah. But I'd say that about everything. I used to really, really be anti-Disney too. Like for a long, Facebook will always give you those like your memories or whatever. Like you posted this 10 years ago. I had one the other day where I was just like shitting on Disney. I was like, God, why is everybody so blah 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 Disney? And I was like, I guess I just hate Disney.
Ooh, that seems like a tough one.
Is it comedy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ask away.
What happens if you don't get it?
I don't know. You can spit at me or something. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I won't take that one because I don't think you'll know that. I don't know that.
You get $5? Jeez, okay.
I get $5?
No, he said Raven says he gets $5.
Oh. I'll take $5. Okay. Comedy. Who is Brian mistaken for in Monty Python's Life of Brian?
I also just want to say Jesus, but because he does get crucified. Is it just Jesus?
Is that your final answer?
It's been so long since I've watched this movie. I know. Could it just be like a general, like a Messiah? Could it not be Jesus? Is it Messiah?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
No $5.
Messiah. No $5.
No,
the
no,
Messiah.
No $5.
I know it was something. I just couldn't remember if it was like specifically Jesus or just as a Messiah.
I've never seen that.
general.
I have no idea.
he gets crucified. So I didn't cheat. You literally saw my thought process. I said it out
You
loud.
said Messiah.
Two guessing. No.
Two guessing ass.
She asked for if it, she who wants to be a millionaire me. Is that your final answer?
I did.
And then as soon as I said Messiah, she gave up. Okay. There you go. I win. I'm the champion. Do you want a question?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I feel like we've asked that before. Okay, we'll see if you know this one. Also a comedy. Which Florida team mascot is stolen in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
The dolphin.
There you go, dolphin. She needs cartoon. She went. Well, you've seen that movie. I showed you that movie. I don't know if you know it. Oh, you definitely wouldn't know that one. She would know this. She'd know this one too. Who voices Genie in Aladdin?
Oh, Robin Williams. Wait, which one?
Yeah, Robin. What do you mean, which one?
Oh, voices.
Yeah, voices.
Yeah, never mind. Will Smith was actually there.
That was the only one that was actually a cartoon. I'll see if there's a different cartoon one. No, that's live action. That's nope. Nope. You'd know that one. Nope. Nope. Oh.
Will Smack Your Ass Smith.
Will Smack Your Ass Smith. Yeah. What is the name of the prince in Disney's Sleeping Beauty? There's multiple choice, but I just want to see if you can get it without multiple choice. Because I feel like multiple choice makes it very obvious.
I feel like it's something douchey.
I think Robin Williams came back for one of them, but I think you're correct that he might not have for all of them.
Isn't it something stupid like Prince Aaron or Prince Eric or Prince... No, that's the Little Mermaid.
Eric is the Little Mermaid. Aaron, you're thinking of the rich girl on YouTube you like. The alien.
Alright, shut up.
Alright, I'll give you multiple choice.
Okay.
Michael, Philip, or Henry?
Oh. Reread.
What is the name of the prince in Disney's Sleeping Beauty? Michael, Philip, or Henry?
Is Sleeping Beauty Aurora?
Yes.
I never watched that, I don't think.
It's the one where Maleficent comes from.
Oh. Oh! Philip.
Yes. I don't know how that gave you the hint to figure out.
Because I saw the movie Maleficent.
Oh. Well, okay. Well. Philippe.
So close to Patrick.
So close.
So close.
So close. They
So
both
close.
share two letters in common.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was fun.
So close. There you go. We're both 1 for 1.
Yeah.
But I didn't need hints or anything. And okay. Well, anything you'd like to add, or do you want to get him?
I'm very excited to watch all of Jurassic Park.
She's not excited that we have to watch Top Gun
No.
before Top Gun Maverick. So that'll be this week sometime.
Is that the one that's I Got a Need for Speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Highway
To the
Calzone
danger zone. Oh yeah. The Calzone.
Calzone zone. Yeah. Parks and Rec. Shout out.
Woot woot.
I'm actually I don't have like this weird like nostalgia or like dude love for Top Gun because I've never seen the whole movie. I've definitely only seen chunks of it. I don't think I've ever seen that full movie.
Oh my god. I remember when I was in college and dating.
Talk about dude bro culture. Shout out to the Good, the Bad, and the Weird, Fast and the Furious thing. I don't know if I feel like dude bro culture might have been started with shirtless, oiled up volleyball scenes from Top Gun.
I remember when I was
You can be my wingman anytime.
when I was in
no,
college.
you can be mine.
If I was like dating around or like
Oh, dating
flirting
around,
with
ooh.
like a guy and they were like, "What's your favorite movie?" I would say Top Gun.
Why would you say Top Gun?
Because I was trying to be like a pick me girl. I was trying to be like, "Oh, my favorite movie is Top Gun." Totally, I love that movie. It's so great. It's so
Oh
I love
my
like
God.
I love planes and cars and volleyball. Fucking hated that movie. What a liar.
Oh, wow. See, I would never lie about that sort of thing.
Well, I was trying to get a date.
I want a 10-second car. You know what's so funny? The dude Medusa here in chat, I've had this conversation with him many times about Fast and the Furious, to try and to explain to him that the first Fast and the Furious movie is a heist movie. That's quite literally what the movie is about. It's like, it's not about racing cars or anything. It's literally about a heist. Like, it's a full-blown heist movie.
The only thing
And then the other movies just become crazy. Although I will disagree with The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. I don't think the first movie is the best movie. I think which movie is it? I want to say maybe
Negative
5
two.
or 6 might be the best one.
the only thing I will ever
Like, they all are like, you gotta kind of turn your brain off to sort of watch them. But
the only thing I like
I
is
forget which one it is exactly.
the theme song to the Tokyo Drift one.
Tokyo Drift is terrible. People love Tokyo Drift, and I don't get it. Tokyo Drift is not good. Also, Too Fast, Too Furious is not good. The second and third movies are not good.
Say hi, everybody.
There's Max.
Say hi. Oh, he's very scared.
No, he infiltrates basically a gang of people who are hijacking trucks full of like DVD VCR players, combo DVD VCR players for the underground market of selling DVD VHS combo players. Like, that's what it's about. He's trying to infiltrate this group of people to catch people who've been stealing shit off the back of trucks. Not because they're street racing, because nobody in that town seems to give a shit that they're street racing.
Max is going to have a tough couple weeks because he's got to go through some lessons and he's got to be a big boy so he can get ready for a trip.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
Zooming through the sky. Little Einsteins.
Okay.
Anyway, I could argue about
Say bye.
Fast and the Furious, that first one, with Medusa all the time, because he's totally wrong about what that movie's about.
Cop movie.
Yes, Brian starts off as a
I
cop.
don't care.
He
I
starts
don't
off
know
as a
who
cop.
Brian
He
is.
goes
I don't give
undercover.
a shit.
He goes undercover, falls in love with Vin Diesel's sister, and then decides to live his life a quarter mile at a time.
Family.
Family. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for us. I think we're gonna end off there talking about family and how important family is. The whole, you know what? We're not gonna argue about this. You're wrong. That's all that matters. There's Max signing off for us as always. You can join us on all of our social medias here, Discord, all that stuff, if you want to keep up and join the movie club thing, where maybe this weekend we'll watch The China Syndrome and then do a discussion about it. You can join us there. Follow us on Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all that sort of things where we post stuff and whatnots. I'm also going to get her to start actually doing her Shudder reviews since she watches every single movie they release on there.
Yes, I do.
Anyway, we'll see you then. Enjoy going to watch movies this weekend. If you go out and see something, again, it'll probably be Doctor Strange, not really anything else. She's even wanting to go see it a second time.
Yep.
But we'll be back next week with something. We haven't decided yet. There's 3 good choices.
It'll be a toss-up.
Although almost certainly it's probably not going to be Top Gun because she really does not want to see Top Gun. But she's going to be dragged to it anyway.
Gonna see it anyway.
Apparently it's pretty good. A lot of people who've already seen it are saying very positive things about it. But
David Dobrik says a lot of really good things about it.
David Dobrik's an idiot. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
One of these is the ending.